All right, hi, my name is Dakota Coppage. I am a challenger at GauntletAI. I wanted to introduce you to my OpenEMR application. This is a fork of a current application. We've created something called AgentForge, which is our clinical co-pilot, which is an isolated agent that runs a looping process through commands that allows a nurse practitioner, clinician to interact with an agent and get pertinent patient data. So, say a nurse practitioner sees 20 to 25 patients a day. That 90 seconds between rooms, recall what changed between the next patient. In that moment, what's actually authorized to decide on their own versus what needs a supervising physician to sign off. The second part is the real problem. MP scope. If it's practice is state dependent, so the role equals, can't grant access. And they might need the physician's approval on something like this. The permission model is going to know that. The user has to act on it, not just view. So if we look at OpenEMR right now and we log into the portal, come here in the portal, right, we see we have 98 entries. So 98 patients in here. Not all of these are assigned to the nurse practitioner, but we do have a list of patients that are specifically indicative to their practice. 3 decisions worth calling out. Practice. Claude never talks to OpenEMR directly. It requests a tool call, gets the patient's active medications, and AgentForge holding a token scope to this MP is the only thing that executes it. That indirection is what makes the next 2 decisions possible. PHI minimization is enforced at the schema level, not as a filter bolted on after. Every tool's pedantic contract only ever returns clinically relevant fields. We're never returning social security number, billing, insurance data, never giving that to Claude, never letting that be exposed. Rejects anything outside of that, consultation time, not later. Third, this runs its own service, not embedded in OpenEMR's process. If we take a look at the railway deployment right here, we can see AgentForge is deployed within this project, but it's deployed separately from OpenEMR. It is not embedded in the application. The only thing that will be embedded in the application is an actual UI layer, which will be the chat agent itself. But the workings of the agent, the Python application that we have built here, will be running as a separate service, a sidecar. So, an example. Let's see. Come here. This is our AgentForge application. Let's see, the status is up. Right here, we're going to have a status and a health check. So status for our ready is going to show okay as long as the FHIR is connectable, Anthropic is connectable, and Lingfuse is connectable. Let me see the health here. Status is okay. We come here. This would be our demo UI layer. This is what would be exposing, a minimized version of this is what we'd be exposing into OpenEMR. This is what would be integrated. If we come here, we check a patient. Say we take Antonio here and we say, give me a quick brief of this patient's record. It takes a moment. And you see we have this under the hood section. This is just for kind of demo purposes right now. When we look at this, we're going to cite all tool calls and all FHR references. Verification results are going to appear here after every turn within the agent. A lot of the patients are going to have pretty intense records. So if we look here, they have no allergies on file. We have multiple conditions. Everything's going to have its citation ID here. And if you look over here, everything's going to have a correlation. So you see here our correlation for the entire context of our contract with the agent right now. So we say this medication here. And we want to see that refill safety is in scope. Can we refill? So I'm not even gonna try to say that name, but no, I'm not gonna say it. That's not what I do. I don't pronounce things. I do my best to build things. All right. So note this is within our authority to approve independently, and we can move on directly from there. But say there is a controlled substance. Say we want to prescribe oxycodone. Immediately, we're going to get an escalation open for action. We want to prescribe oxycodone, status pending, awaiting supervising physician sign off. Nurse practitioner can move on to the next patient. This is just kind of transparency later here. Nurse practitioner can move on to the next patient. After that, a 4-hour hard stop applies. These will be adjusted in the UI layer once this is integrated into OpenEMR itself. This is just to be for demo purposes, but we can still see we're getting our correlation. We have the ability to approve or deny. If we approve, we're going to we'll notify the nurse practitioner, the supervisor, and the physician approved. You may proceed with the request. And then we notify you all. This is your interaction reopened for the MP. Okay. So building in latency observability. If we come here, we'll be able to see this a little bit more transparently. We built an observability dashboard. This is connected to LinkFuse. Our LinkFuse is currently hosted in the cloud, but what we're hosted on LinkFuse cloud, US cloud, by the way. We want to transfer that to a self-hosted version. So that is our next integration step, the UI integration, and then the agent interaction cleanup, as well as the introduction of a self-hosted observability dashboard. For right now, this is connected to LangFuse. It tells us all of our current requests, our recent requests, and what tools were used. Gives us our per flow breakdown, like how many requests were involved in each of those breakdowns, the claims cited and suppressed. We give our verification pass rate. We do have an eval suite that runs on every push. And we have, I think, 16 golden case that run against. And then we have behavioral tests as well. So those get run. If we can already see, like with multiple 30 LLM calls at $1. So to scale, we need to examine exactly how this would contribute if we were pushing to, say, 300 users of the application and 300 concurrent users. What's that cost model going to be? So we'll be looking to see the adjustments and like what that would look like going forward. But pretty simple, straightforward. I'm a fan of how this is going. I am looking forward to showing you more. We definitely have a few more things that we need to integrate here, but I would want to point out that we also have a Bruno collection that's in the repository. All of that can be connected directly, and you can run the eval suites yourself as well. But everything is up on my GitLab, and I will be putting that link in the video recording. Thank you.